load on all that historical growth.
Changed all that.
It changed all that versus what we have right now. And so people want to make changes to these open concepts. Okay, well, a 2x12 doesn't span what it used to a long time ago, right? And now, just because you want to make your garage 2 feet deeper, it'd be nice to fit my truck in there. Okay, right? That, and being in Texas, everyone has a truck, and everyone, well, you know, I sold my big trucks. There was very few people that had as big a truck as me.
That is true.
You made a killing on it, I know.
Big studies, big offices, big trucks.
Right. Hey, I took advantage of that chip thing that was going on.
No wonder you want the chicken fried steak.
Sold all my potato chips and traded it in. So, inside joke on selling a big F-250 truck right there. But anyways, everyone in Texas wants to fit their big truck in the garage, right? And to do that, you need to make it a little deeper. It's not necessarily wider, you know, fit in the lane all right, but the height of it and the depth of it, you know, you're trying to, you know, in the rain, get out and around the truck. So you got to make it deeper. Well, 2x12, you're just like, okay, it doesn't cost that much to add 2 more feet to the garage to go out there. Well, yes, it does, because our lumber doesn't span like it does. And now you have to double every 2x12 up. Right?
Cha-ching.
And then add some beams to support it, because you can't span that, and you got to brace the roof off of it. So now you have some triple places, right? So it just one small little change, because of when you talk about value engineering, right? You're engineering something that it's not steel, right? It changed over a period of time.
Yeah.
People go in and like, oh, that lumber is, you know, not the way it used to be. Well, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's inferior. Just means it has design limitations, right? And so trying to value engineer, and then you get someone's wants that don't line up with the engineering of, then your costs go. You're thinking of a small change. It turns out to be a very large change.
Now, you guys are out there building all the time, and I've got another question that is posed to me all the time, and that is, hey, I want to add a media room. I want to add an extra room somewhere, a workshop, whatever. Is it cheaper to add it onto the main home, or is it cheaper to build it as an outbuilding? I know the answer, but I want to get you guys to weigh in on that.
Yeah, anytime you do outbuilding, now you're finishing walls that weren't previously finished, right? So now and then getting to it, right? So there's always that question of, and we've seen this in other parts of the country, these, you know, alternate dwelling units and things like that. People are trying to fit more space on the land that they have for relatives or things like that, right? And the question is, do it separate or do it upstairs, you know? And people think upstairs is cheaper, right? But not always,
they have
right?
the space for the stairs.
You got to have the square box, right? You got to get the efficiency. You got to have the square box. If you're, we've had this conversation before, Max. Someone trying to put like a game, just a solo game room upstairs on an inefficient where to do it. Getting the stairs in there, it's going to take 120 square feet
minimum,
just to get the stairs added to the first floor. So you're only adding, you know, 400 and something feet upstairs, right? But I got to add 120 downstairs just to get to that. Right? So depending on the design, hopefully it all fits within the roof, because if it doesn't, forget about it at that point, right? It's going to cost you a lot more to do it. Now versus in a second building, right? If you got that relative, that family member, whatever, rental. I mean, there's a lot of people in really expensive parts of the country that are trying to build a little thing out there and just rent that out, right? Because affordable housing's gone. So let's make a 1-bedroom, you know, bathroom type of thing out there versus doing it in the house or upstairs or something like that. I think you'd almost have to weigh, if you were getting paid for it, I would say do it outbuilding all the time, because you don't want them coming through your house versus a second entrance.
But if you're strictly focused on cost,
it's
going to be cheaper to add that square footage to the main home.
Yeah, whatever you can do to keep it under first floor roof. I mean, that's if you can somehow squeeze it in or add just a little bit more, it's always less expensive.
Because then you don't have another separate roof, a separate foundation. You know.
So here's the trick that I see people try to make on doing like flips and stuff, and this is really, really dangerous on people trying to do flips. Is they'll take like a covered back porch, or take something that was non-living area, try to turn it into living area. It wasn't designed for living area. And the minute you put a wall in there, right, you've defeated the foundation that wasn't designed for, right? Yep. And now you're opening yourself up to risk.
Mm-hmm. Right? Need to be opening up your wallet.
Yeah, opening up your wallet. So when you're talking about adding something on, don't look at that, garage or that, open space right there. It wasn't designed to have that load put in the center of it right there, and you could damage the foundation.
There's right. a reason why we've been in home building, not in
right.
remodeling.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So adding on, you might look at the cost of, oh man, well, I got to get an engineer, I got to draw a plan, and then, right. Where that space is already there. Well, that space that's already there,
whatever that looks like. Yeah. If you think you might be adding a room, like you're still toying with the idea, I mean, just mention it up front, because if you're getting one designed for you, they'll design the space to fit it in there, and then it's easier to take it out than it is to add right. it in. So
and I got another great question for you guys. Okay. Let's say that you've got someone that's fairly handy. They're a do-it-yourselfer and they don't mind tackling some jobs. Ideally, they would prefer to pay a contractor to do turnkey, take the home from beginning to end, and hand them the keys. But what are some aspects of the build process?
Their own thing, not from the ability or a know-how.
Right.
It's a liability and a risk management thing.
Right.
That general liability insurance.
Yep.
Right.
And then there's the warranty too.
And the warranty side of it, right? Yeah. So the minute new construction, just so much more different than a remodel. Remodel's commitment to you is very little. As soon as you hand them the check, you're never going to see them again. Right? I mean, honestly, that's what it is. Like, they're like going to smile at you and wave and drive off. You're like, yeah, great job.
Our apologies to all you remodelers
Right? But the difference is in new construction is the warranty that goes with it, right? The manufacturer warranty, the install part of the warranty, and showing up and doing it to that standard, but you're talking about a very specific task. Everything in new construction is very task oriented. Remodel, he might have done 5 other things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's able to float around and do those things. Right. But his price wasn't as competitive because he's doing so much. Right. He's on the job for so long. These guys are just getting in and out of there, in and out of there.
So what I'm hearing you guys saying then, if you contract with a builder and you say, okay, look,
it's going to be very difficult with a builder. With a general contractor, I'd say you have a better chance of doing it. Right. Yeah. I would say if you contract with a general contractor, you got a better chance of doing
being able to work out a deal like that.
I mean, not to mention construction lenders aren't real keen on homeowners working on their own, working on their own homes.
Great point, Randy. Yeah.
Because they require certain insurance requirements from your trades and from you and all of that stuff.
Fantastic point. Yeah.
And so they will be looking. They'll have specific clauses in there.
That's the reason they won't let you build your own. Like there's a conflict of interest, right? They're lending you money to do your own thing, and you're trying to save. Right, you're trying to save money, right? It means in their eyes, you're not trying to add the value back to it, right? You're trying to take some value out of it, but they're lending you the money for it. So there's kind of a conflict of interest. So they don't necessarily like you building your own house, right? They want you to hire that. Can be done.
You can negotiate into the deal with the builder. If the builder knows up front what you're looking for, and the builder can go back to the lender, the construction lender, and go, this is our plan. What we're going to do is the homeowner's going to provide this. We're going to provide this. The lender will cut that part out of the deal and just go, it's on you. What happens after that's on you. And they can actually specifically write that.
That's a really good point. You need to have that conversation with your lender up front.
Yeah, and especially if, whatever your, general contractor, builder, whatever, just bringing that task that you're planning to, the idea is like, hey, I want to save some money, and here's how I could do it. This is what I bring to the table, right? And I'm looking to save some money by doing that. It's going to be very, very specific to the thing, to the what piece you're bringing. Now, if it's the foundation, everyone's going to be like, nope, we're gone, right? I want to do my own foundation. I'm like, no.
You want to paint? That's fine.
That's fine.
You want to pour concrete?
No.
Right?
Not going there.
We're not going there, right?
Well, there's, and there's also I think there's an idea that there's a lot of companies out there that will help you if you're wanting to build it yourself.
That's a good point.
That they'll coach you along. I mean, we know ones that are doing that.
There's several.
We finished a lot of those houses for people.
Yeah, I've done that too.
So what the so
it's expectations versus reality.
Oh, here comes the hate mail now.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's talk for a minute about that, because again, that is an option that's out there for people trying to save some money.
It is.
And I run into people all the time that have gone down that road and they find out that's not a road they want to do, because some people, I think, believe that building a new home can be a part-time project.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, it's there's a reason you hire people and you hire experts to do it, right? And
you do get what you pay for.
Yeah, and so I've run across it. All of us here at the table have met the do-it-yourselfer that is taking the big step to do a lot of it themselves, to the point where they're like, okay, I'm just going to build my own home, right? And usually comes from this standpoint that they're going to save some money, right? And this is how I explain it to people. So you go to a builder, not us, just Builder X, right? And just a general contractor, okay? And you're going to say, hey, here's what I want built, right? I was planning on doing it myself, So that person has no trade base at all, right? So they're like, okay, well, I'm going to get 3 bids on everything. And, usually those companies that do that, they still charge a fee, right?
Right.
Because what they're handing them is basically the trade base.
Yeah.
Is they're like, hey, use these guys. We've used them before. They'll show up. They have insurance. They're doing kind of like the general stuff, right?
That's the beneficial aspect.
The beneficial aspect.
Yeah.
What they don't have compared to a builder that is in business for multiple years and does a volume, right? It doesn't matter. You could have a builder that does 5, 10, 100, 1,000, whatever it is, right? Based on your capacity is the pricing that you get, right? And so the more you do, the less you pay.
Right.
Right?
Economies of scale.
Economies of scale. So now you have someone that has 0 economies of scale. That's called buying at retail prices, right? Not wholesale prices. So now that person really found something at Lowe's or Home Depot that they like, and they're going to use this, and all of a sudden, they start putting these things that they have retail experiences doing, right? They don't understand that in this trade, we don't typically pay retail. We pay wholesale, and sometimes we pay direct.
Right.
Right? Many supply chains back. Same product. Might be branded different. This is what people don't understand. There's the branding that goes out to the big box stores, okay? Moen has faucets that go to the big box stores, okay? They also have faucets that are only available to plumbers, who plumbers turn around and sell it to builders and general contractors and stuff like that, okay? They're very, very similar in how they work. The model number might be different and the name might be slightly different, okay? But the parts in the builder one are better parts than the ones in the big box store. There's plastic parts in the big box store. They want it to fail, and they want you to buy another one because you did it yourself.
Right.
The plumber never wants to come back.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a really, really great point.
The plumber never wants us to come back. He wants to put a quality product in, right? And so builder grade is a thing that I see in like carpet, and there's builder grade carpet that is just a cheap carpet that is meant to be disposable.
Yeah.
Right? But man, that thing has made it through all kinds of stuff. I see it show up in like ceiling fans and stuff like that. But when it comes to the majority of the house, if you were to say the word builder grade, it's usually better than what's on the box store.
Yeah, the consumer grade.
The power. At the end of the day, what someone thought they were going to save money on